In this video, I am going to demonstrate the visible property of labels through this demo. We are going to write a program that displays the answer to a question when the user clicks the display button. The program will also have a button that hides the answer when the user clicks it. So first, we start a new project in Visual Studio. I'm going to name my project Quiz, since it's a question, and I'll click OK. I'm going to change the name in the title bar, so I'm just going to type Quiz. Press Enter. I'm going to add 2 labels to my screen. So press Enter, select label, press Enter. So now I have 2 labels. So I am going to change the name property of the first label, and I'm going to call it Label Question with a capital Q. Label Question. And then I'm going to change the text of the label to say, who was the first president of the United States? So, who was the first president of the United States? I need to adjust my form, so I'm going to stretch it out a little bit here. I'm going to change the font size to something more visible. So I'll find the font property and change it to about an 11. Click OK. Then I'll change the second label. I'm going to call this Label Answer with a capital A. I'm going to change the text. Well, first I'll change the font. I'm going to change it also to an 11. Then I'll change the text property. So the answer, of course, is George Washington. Just going to center this a little bit by using the arrow key. Now I am going to change the visible property from true to false. So find the visible property for this label, and I'm going to change it from true to false. So when the user runs the program, they don't see the answer, which is George Washington. I'm going to add 3 buttons here. So 1 button, 2 button, 3 button. So this first button, I'm going to call it Button Display with a capital D. I'll change the text property to Display. I'll change the second button. I'm going to call it Button Hide. So scroll up, find the name property, and call it Button Hide. Then I'm going to scroll down and change the text property to Hide. Then the third button, I'm going to call it Button Exit. So I'm going to call it Button Exit. Change the text to Exit. And the code for this is really easy. All we have to do is change the visible property of label answer to the visible property to true. So you double click the display button just say label answer dot visible equals true and semicolon. Semicolon is important. And then the text property for hide is also easy. So double click the hide button, and that's going to be label answer dot visible is false, so I can hide the label that has the answer. And then the exit is going to be label, this dot close, open and close parentheses, because close is a function, so we're actually calling a function called close. So what this does is that it closes our window and the little program. So we can go ahead and test this. So we click the start button right here, and you see the answer is not visible, but when you click display, you see George Washington. You click hide, it hides it, and then you click exit. So this is a short demo of how to use the visible property for labels.